It's a WIP Afternoon Show with Ike, Spike, and Fritz, joined here in Clearwater by Phillies manager Rob Thomson. Appreciate you joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Is there a vibe and a feeling you get at spring training from the beginning that lets you know not how the season's going to go, but what camp's going to be like for you?
Yeah, I think there is, and I think the vibe is very good right now. Everybody's working hard. We've got good health, knock on wood. We've had, other than a couple of chillier days, not cold like Philadelphia, but chillier days, we've had really good weather. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. We've got 11 or 12 guys going to the WBC. So those guys are doing extra work and ramping up so that they're in shape to go play 9 innings. So it's been really good. A lot of energy, a lot of good stuff happening.
Does it make you nervous at all, the guys playing World Baseball Classic? I know it's important, but just, they're going full speed early, extra games.
Yeah, it's a different intensity level. I mean, you see the Olympics and hockey and the women's hockey and all the energy that the U.S. teams brought to the country, and these guys watch that, and they feel it. I get a little nervous, but I think it's a good experience for everybody to be able to play for your country. And for a couple of our guys, I think it's going to be good for them to get going a little bit earlier and get into some really good competition early.
What's your message to the squad this year, right? Like to your guys going into this season? Yeah,
well, we're not there yet. I think the message right now is health, and to make sure that you get your feet underneath you. Make sure you don't do anything unnecessary to create a hamstring or a calf or anything like that. Make sure that the pitchers aren't chasing velocity and they're chasing execution and throwing strikes and command. I worry more. The biggest times I worry during the course of the year are the first 10 days of spring training games, because it's a different intensity level. They're running the bases. Young kids are trying to impress. Guys that are new to the organization, they're trying to impress. So I try to calm them down a little bit, and then we'll ramp them up and get them going towards the end. And then the second part of it is really the first week of games during the regular season, because now you go to another intensity level. So health is the number one message right now as we get closer to the end. It's going to be more about working as a team and winning games and being great teammates, being selfless, that type of thing.
Fourth or fifth year going into as a manager. I know you took over in 22. How does that count? Does that make this your fourth year or your fifth year?
I think fifth.
Fifth year.
Yeah.
You got veterans on this team.
Yeah.
You guys have been in the postseason the last 4 years, but you got a nice infusion of youth as well that everybody's excited about. I guess, how do you handle that as a manager when you're in spring training? You want to take care of your vets.
Yep.
Obviously, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But like you said, these young guys, they're out here trying to show like that they belong or trying to earn a spot on the big league club.
Yeah, I think the younger guy, the veteran guys, I really take care of and make sure that we're going to try and build everybody properly. But the veteran guys, I worry about the most. The younger kids, they fall down and they get up and run. The veteran guys, when they fall down, I sometimes worry about it. But everybody's a little bit different, and we monitor. We have a meeting with our trainers and our strength and conditioning staff every day and go over every single player and try to figure out what level of what type of fatigue they're in right today, how they're feeling, how many innings should we play with them. So it's a case-by-case basis and a day-by-day basis.
How is the addition of Don Mattingly going so far, and what kind of role do you envision for him?
Yeah, he's been great. It's one thing. I think we have the best coaching staff in baseball, but we didn't have a guy that had been there and done that for the type of career that Donnie had. The guy that understands the ups and downs of playing 10 years in the big leagues and being a Gold Glover and playing in a big market. But he's fit in great. I've known Donnie for a long time. Kay Long's known Donnie for a long time, so it was pretty seamless for him coming in here. And I think he's going to be Mike Calitri was our bench coach. Now he's our major league field coordinator. His job really hasn't changed. He's going to he's going to be doing the same thing on the bench. And Donnie's another set of eyes and another voice on the bench. And I think he's a good guy to go to for not just our young kids, but our veterans to talk things out when things aren't going well. So he's a great addition.
So Nick Castellanos no longer a Philly. The story came out, a couple versions of the story a couple of weeks ago about what happened in the dugout. When you decided to pull him for a defensive replacement, did you know when you did that there was a possibility that he may react negatively to it?
Well, I'm always worried about all the veterans when I take them out, because they've, to a certain point, they've earned that right to be able to finish games. And I'm not really going to go back there on the Casty stuff.
Sure.
But, no, I wasn't really sure that it was going to react like that.
And after that happened, do you feel like there was a ripple effect within the clubhouse afterwards, just talking about the rest of the season, or when it was done, it was done? I
don't think so. I think when it was done, it was done. And we moved on.
Okay. So batting order this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know
who's your father?
Yeah.
Because that's the question.
Look, nailed it. All right.
I love your father.
Well, yeah.
He's treated me great.
We are very different. I'm not going to be sending you any lineups. I can promise you that. You are the expert. I'm going to ask you the question.
Yeah.
Then if I disagree with it, I'll say it on the radio. I won't talk to you about it. But there's been, people have put out, it's going to look this way. With Trey leading off, Bryce 2, Schwarber 3, Bohm 4. Mm-hmm. Two-part question. What goes into making that decision? And then how much of the player's preference and comfort goes into that decision? Like, are there discussions, or is it just something you decide?
Well, there are discussions, but at the end of the day, I decide on where they're going to hit, and our guys are really good teammates. They're selfless in every way, and I take in what they give me and make a decision, and usually they're good with it. So. I just want to score the most runs, and whatever we have to do that, I'm going to do it. And the one thing I want is, I don't know what order it's going to be, but I want Trey and Harp and Schwarb hitting in the first inning.
Okay. Wow. Well, that says something, right? I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
When you look at managing in Philadelphia, right? Expectations,
mm-hmm.
right? We can be demanding as a fan base and everything. You guys playoffs 4 straight years. Last year, 96 wins, second most wins in all of baseball. And it almost seems like that goes unnoticed just because how the season ended. From your perspective, last year, how do you sort of view last year? I thought it was your best managerial job, and I'm not just saying it just because you're here, but I think dealing with everything you dealt with last year, injury-wise and other things internally, to get the second most wins in baseball, I thought was very impressive. But how do you view the regular season versus the way the season ended?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good regular season, and it didn't end up the way we wanted it to. And I know the expectations in Philly are high, and that's what we want. I mean, you wouldn't want it any other way, I don't think. But having said that, I don't think anybody's expectations are higher than mine. And every time for 41 years, I've been coming to spring training wanting to win a world championship. And it hasn't changed this year. And I feel, like we were talking earlier, I feel the vibe in the clubhouse is very good, highly motivated. They want to get this thing done, and I want to get this thing done. Because I think these guys, the way they play, they've earned the right, and they've earned it, and we just have to play better. I have to make better decisions in the playoffs, and we got to win some ball games.
The reason why I asked that, right? I played here with the Eagles, right, and going to 4 straight NFC championship games and not getting to the Super Bowl or ultimately winning it. It's sometimes that overshadows what you do during the regular season, mm-hmm. which is also a great accomplishment. And I just wonder how you sort of keep the guys motivated and going, but also the disappointment of how things ended. So I know you guys have been there 4 straight years in the postseason, but it doesn't end the way you wanted to end.
Yeah, and I know it was heartbreaking last year for our guys, and But again, these guys, they turn the page and they move on. It's in the back of their mind, but they are ready to go, and they want to get this thing done. And hopefully we get everybody back healthy from WBC, and we can have the last. Somebody's going to go to the finals of the guys that we have in camp. So we're not going to have the entire team until really the last week of the season of the spring training. So then we got to really sit down and get our team together and get everybody focused on the one goal.
I want to go back to the Dodger series. You mentioned some of the decisions. If you could have one of these back, which would it be? Robertson coming out for the 7th in Game 1, or the Stott bunt in Game 2?
Well, probably it was getting Robertson and Strom in up-downs at the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really one specific time that, either one of those. It didn't. I don't think one or the other I'd prefer, but the thing that I would have liked to do was make sure that those guys get their up-downs at the end of the regular season. But having said that, people have to do different things when you get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers did it with their starting pitching. All that starting pitching, the pitching out of the bullpen, they didn't do that during the regular season, but they got it done. So, but when I look in the mirror, that's what I would have wanted.
I know as fans, sometimes when a season ends the way that did, you almost play it in your head over and over again, thinking at some point, if you play it enough times in your head, it'll end a different way. For you, when you have a way that the season ended, how do you have a process of moving past that and putting it behind you, or does it always linger?
Oh, it's every season that you don't win a world championship, it's in the back of your mind, and for different reasons. It's really disappointing. That's what we're paid to do, is to win this thing, and when you don't get it done, it sits with you. But at some point, even though it's in the back of your mind, you got to move on, and we got to go. We got another season coming up. I got to keep these guys healthy to get them to the regular season, keep them healthy throughout the regular season, and get them to perform at the highest level.
I've watched the 2-2 pitch to Alex Call. Maybe I haven't gotten over that.
Yeah,
I mean, I keep thinking like he's going to call it a strike this time, and then we're coming back to Game 5, and then we're going to win that game. Yeah. I probably watched it 100 times.
That's the thing. Like, I always talk to the players about just control the things you can control, and you can't control a little bit more this year with the umpires' calls because of the ABS, but if you just have to be able to control some things go bad, you got to move on, and you got to refocus and play the game.
What would you say the biggest question about the team is this year, if you were to handicap your own team?
That's a good question. It's always about health to me. I mean, are we going to stay healthy? Yeah. And that's my job, is to make sure these guys stay healthy and monitor their workload, and because these guys play a lot, and our guys tend to play almost every day. So I gotta watch that, make sure I don't put them in harm's way.
You bring up health. I mentioned last year in your managerial job and how great it was, considering guys you had injured. Zach Wheeler.
Yeah.
How do you feel where he's at and how he's progressing and going into the season?
Well, you guys came on a good day because he just threw his first bullpen today.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's newsflash, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody knew it. I didn't announce it just because in case he stubbed his toe last night and he doesn't throw his bullpen,
right.
Everybody panics. So, and it was really good. The ball flight was good. He threw 21 pitches. It was all 4-seam and 2-seam today, but he feels really good. He looks good. He's in great shape. He's worked harder this offseason than any other offseason he's been in professional baseball.
When there is noise on the outside, like there was earlier in spring training, the Dombrowski-Harper thing, do you feel that on the inside? Do the players feel it in the clubhouse? Or is that something that is noisy to us but isn't noisy to you?
Yeah, I think the players have blinders on, and they, we had a meeting, and it's all past us. It's gone. Everybody's in a good spot right now.
What's the? I want to do like a word association with some of the guys. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Justin Crawford?
Athlete.
Yeah. Aiden Miller.
Ball player.
Like that. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I'm a ball player.
Yeah,
We like that.
We like ball players.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yes.
Easy.
All right, I won't say it. We got company.
We got
I won't
company.
say it.
Yeah.
We're all class on this show.
Yeah.
We're all class. Andrew Painter.
Superstar, future superstar.
All right. Jesus Luzardo.
He's a horse.
He's looking good, too, I heard. Come on. Brad Keller.
You know who he reminds me of? Roger Clemens. Just the body.
What?
Oh, easy.
I mean, just the body and the way he goes about his business. He's a true professional. He's every time I see him walk across the diamond, I think he looks like Rocket.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Kyle Backus.
Funky.
It's good word. And Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes. The hockey player.
Yeah.
Hey, tough.
Yes.
He is tough.
It was a good result on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
good result.
You okay with that one?
Yeah.
You okay?
Well, I
with
mean,
it?
what are you going to do?
Well, y'all win most of the time anyway.
Hey, I think Canada played great.
Yeah.
A lot of shots.
Yes.
But Hellebuck was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so you got to give him credit. You know, I mean, it's the way it is. If you say, well, Canada outplayed them, well, that's great, but they outscored them.
Yeah.
US
Any of your
outscored.
players breaking your stones about it?
No.
Anybody said anything to you?
Not too
Okay.
much. Not too much.
Good.
Okay, I want you to think back 1 year about how you felt about the team 1 year ago, last year's team, and how you feel about this year's team. What are the differences about how you felt about last year's team versus how you feel about this year's team?
Well, I think, we lost Strom, obviously, but I think our bullpen's a lot better this year.
Mm-hmm.
With Keller and Bolin, and Backus is funky, and he's got great stuff, and he's just a different look that we haven't seen before. Hopefully we have Alvarado for the entire year. We've got Duran at the start of the year for the entire year. We've added a Gold Glove right fielder that we think is going to be on a mission to come back, and I think he's going to hit a lot of home runs in our ballpark. I really do. So I felt really good about our club last year, but I feel a little bit better about him this year.
All right, before we let you go, two, I believe, the most important questions we're going to ask you. First of all, do you think it's silly at all that the only sport where the manager / coach wears the same thing that the players do is baseball? And if you were given the option, would you just wear whatever you wanted instead of the uniform?
I'd love to Miller Huggins it one day in suit.
Suit?
You wear a suit?
Stetson.
Wow, yeah.
That would look good.
Yeah.
That would look
Yeah.
good. Sometimes I imagine in other sports, like, Nick Nurse, coach of the Sixers, what if he had to wear the Sixers uniform?
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem,
Yeah, it
it
wouldn't
doesn't
look
seem
right,
right. Yeah. And then I think not just everybody in Philadelphia, but everybody in America wants to know the hair care routine that you go through to keep such a thick, just luscious head of hair. Like, what is it? What are the products? What are the...
Well, nothing really. I think it's just genetics.
Really?
My
That's
dad
it.
had a full head of hair. He passed away at 77, and he still had a full head of hair. He was gray, or he's white. I got a little gray coming in, but not too much. So I've been very fortunate.
Everybody said something about it. I don't think I ever saw you without a hat until maybe the press conference after the season.
Yeah.
And I looked at these guys and I said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
I mean, what a head of hair!
That's how Ike didn't recognize Tom.
I literally saw him at a Phillies function and just said hello as if I didn't know he was Rob Thomson. I had no idea. Yeah, and you do clean up very well. I gotta add, you look pretty good. Yeah, you look pretty good. Clean up very well.
Well, good luck.
you.
We're all excited for baseball to be back again, and our fingers are crossed for you.
How long are you guys down here for?
It's just 2 days. We're
Yeah,
Saturday.
about Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We'll enjoy it.
We're
Yes,
talking.
sir.
We're talking to Luzardo and Trey. Anything that we should ask them? Any inside story that we get out of you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. There is Rob Thompson.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Skip.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.